What's up, guys? Welcome to the channel. On the video today we're going to do a little archery shooting. I have a couple different bows. I'll get over them. I'll kind of cover them over the next couple weeks. But today I want to talk about my Recurve bow. It's nothing fancy, but a local sportsman's hunting gallery store down the road. It is a Galaxy bow. I believe it's called the Explorer. It's what's considered a takedown recurve bow, where you can take this apart, fold it up, and kind of put it in your pack and transport it that way if you did want to take it apart. Really never felt the need to take it apart. I enjoy recurve bow shooting because it's a little bit rudimentary as far as kind of old school. I do like the fact that it doesn't have any sights. I like the fact that it takes a little skill to use it. I have crossbows, I have compound bows, but I really love shooting this recurve bow. This is a 45-pound pull bow, and it is 62 inches long. I might be wrong on the name. It looks like it says Sage Elite here on the bow itself. But anyways, I'm gonna do a little shooting, as you can see here. If you can see the targets here, I just set up something real quick to kind of demonstrate the bow. I like shooting this style quiver. That's about 20 yards away. I set that little 22 target at 25 yards away because we were testing my son's little rifle for the first time the other day. But we're gonna do some shooting here, and then we're gonna talk about whether or not you guys shoot archery, or whether you guys hunt for sport, and or whether or not you have a recurve bow, or whether or not you prefer a compound bow versus any other type of archery, like crossbow shooting, things like that. So, all right, first I want to talk about the notch in your arrow itself. The arrow is going to have a notch there. There's going to be 3 different fletchings on this particular arrow. The fletching that is off, the stabilizer that is not the same as the rest, is the odd man out. That's important because whether you're shooting a compound bow, a long bow, a recurve bow, or even a crossbow, the arrow will determine which way the fletchings go, because you want to create less resistance. Will it shoot the other way? Sure, but you want to increase the chances of you hitting your target. So because this is the odd man out, it is going to go above. Let's see if I could show you here. It's going to go, once you put in the notch here, it's going to go up. You see how that goes up? There's a small little plastic rest that your arrow sits on. Now, mind you, this is adjustable based on your shooting style, your height, you know, how long your arms are, where you tend to shoot, things like that. But then it'll rest on there. Then there's quite a bit of controversy. There is really no wrong way to shoot a bow, as far as, you know, if it works for you, keep doing what you're doing. But I, in particular, like to stabilize the arrow as I'm drawing back. When I'm drawing back and get to the full extension point, I'll bring my finger down. See that? I'll bring it down and rest it right along the grip of the bow itself. Some people, in their drawback, me in particular, I like to put 1 finger above, 2 fingers below. Some people like to do 3 fingers below. Some people like to use all 4 fingers and do it that way. Like I said, there's really no wrong way to do it, as long as you're practicing fundamentals and doing the same thing, safely of course, but doing the same thing over and over and over. That way you can get consistent shooting. So, as you're drawing the bow back, you want to pull your shoulders back. You kind of want to be in like a more upright position than you normally stand. And that's your framework. If your framework is evenly balanced and very steadily, I guess you could say sturdy, as long as it is in a comfortable upright position, you're going to draw this bow back over and over and over and over without struggling. Because if you don't, you're going to be fighting the bow the entire time. Get this back on there. Because if you don't, you're going to be fighting this bow the entire time, and then you're going to bring it up on target. I kind of like to, depending on how I'm shooting, when I'm shooting, sometimes I get lazy, but I'll kind of bring it above the target as I'm drawing back, bring it down. Okay. Some people do it different. They kind of like to punch out like they're shooting a gun. They kind of face the target and then punch out. I'm not going to draw it all the way back. So now, once you get to your full upright, stable position and you're drawing your bow back, you don't want to use your arms. You kind of want to use your back. You want to bring that string back as far as possible, comfortably, with your shoulders up. Not here. You don't want to shoot a bow like this. You want to shoot it from here, keeping your arm up and as stable as possible. Now on the release, like I said, you're going to bring your finger off of this. That way it's safe. Are you going to hurt yourself if this passes through your finger? No, but it's going to wake you up. It's going to let you know that you did it wrong. But on the release, you don't want to, here I'll kind of exaggerate a little bit, you don't want to let it go that way. Kind of let it slowly go and then let it go. You want to let your fingers kind of just pull the string away. Okay? Now I'm not drawing back too far to damage the bow. I get a lot of trolls on the channel, so if I'm doing anything wrong, don't be trolling me too bad. As you're just letting your fingertips go, you still want to keep that tightness and keep that framework steady. So literally, when you release that bow, it should surprise you, just like a trigger pull. It should surprise you, and then you'll see as you let the bow go, your shoulders will kind of come back because you're steadily pulling the entire time. Unlike a compound bow uses pulleys. Long bows and recurve bows, any traditional style bow, does not. You're constantly fighting the tension of the bow itself, the bowstring, that kind of stuff. So, these are not the type of bows that you're going to want to draw back and then leave here. You would be like this. Leave here for a very long time because there's no let off. It's called let off. So compound bows, even crossbows, use cams. And the shape of that cam as it goes around the apex of the style of cam will do what's called letting off. It'll let off that pressure that it took to pull back, and it only applies it again when you let go. Recurves, longbows, any traditional style bow, they don't do that kind of thing. So you're constantly fighting the tension from the bow itself. You don't want to be here very long. Once you acquire your target and you get on target, it should only be a second or two before you let that bowstring fly, or you release tension and put it down. You shouldn't be holding it here, holding it here, holding it here, holding it here, and holding it here for a long period of time, because the longer you do that, the more unsteady you're going to be. You're going to be shaking because you're going to constantly be fighting the string. So, those are just a few tips. As far as sighting, I leave both eyes open. Most people do. I kind of have what's called a reflex. My body does the same thing over and over and over, and I'm kind of used to it to the point where now it's working consistently. And I encourage you to do the same thing. Get out there, shoot your bow. If you want to get into the sport of archery, it's really, really fun. But like anything else, it takes practice. So practice your safety, practice working your bow, and then get out there and shoot your bow. All right, before we begin today's video, let's talk a little bit about safety. Safety applies to everything we do in the world today. So it's just like firearms, shooting firearms. Archery has similar safety rules. Never point your weapon at anything you do not intend to shoot. Make sure you know what not only your target is, but what's beyond your target, just in case you either miss or the projectile you're shooting, arrow and or bullet, passes through your target. You want to make sure everybody's safe. Keep your finger off the trigger if you're shooting a weapon until you're ready to fire. With a bow, don't even draw back until you're ready to fire, and or insert an arrow until you're ready to fire. Remember guys, if I missed any safety rules, don't chew me up too bad, but stay safe out there. Make sure you're concerned about safety all the time. Safety is the #1 thing. Get out there and have some fun. I would like to hear from you. Leave a comment in the comment section below if you're into the sport of archery, what you like to do. Like I said, over the next couple weeks, I'll cover some rifles, pistols. We're going to do a lot of archery shooting with bows and crossbows, and I want you guys to enjoy the content. But this is Josh, and we'll see you next time.